My brother mocked me for loving anime, until I made our parents proud of me twice. Growing up, my brother Ryan never missed a chance to mock me, especially for loving anime. Every time I'd draw a character or watch a new show, he'd roll his eyes and say, "You're such a weirdo. No one cares about your cartoons." He'd laugh, and my parents would tell me to ignore him, but it hurt. He made me feel like my passion was something to be ashamed of. One night when I was 14, I overheard Mom talking to Dad in the kitchen. "I wish I understood why she's so obsessed with Japanese stuff," Mom said. "It feels like her own little world." Dad chuckled softly. "Maybe one day she'll actually go to Japan." That's when I decided, if they couldn't understand my world, I'd bring my world to them. I started learning Japanese, secretly. Every night after homework, I'd put on my headphones and study through apps and YouTube videos. I practiced with online tutors, watched anime without subtitles, and even tried cooking Japanese food when no one was home. I wanted to prove anime wasn't just a phase, it was a culture. Something beautiful. Meanwhile, Ryan had gotten into photography. He'd brag all the time about being the creative one in the family. My parents loved showing off his photos. He'd smirk at me and say, "Maybe one day you'll make cartoons for real people." I just smiled and kept learning, slightly upbeat tone. A few years later, Ryan landed an internship with a travel magazine. To celebrate, our parents threw a small dinner and invited one of his bosses, a Japanese editor who had just moved to our city. Ryan was so sure he'd impress him, but when the editor arrived, things didn't go as planned. He barely spoke English. Ryan struggled to keep the conversation going. It was awkward. That's when I decided to step in. "Konbanwa," I said, bowing slightly. The editor's face lit up instantly. "Oh, you speak Japanese?" For the next 20 minutes, we talked in Japanese. About anime, Japanese food, Studio Ghibli, and how hard it is moving to a new country. He laughed. Mom and Dad looked amazed. Ryan just sat there silent. Before leaving, the editor turned to my parents and said in broken English, "Your daughter, very smart, very passionate. She should work with us someday." Mom smiled. Dad looked proud. Ryan said nothing. Soft tone. Later that night, I overheard Dad talking on the phone. "She taught herself Japanese." We had no idea. Through the window, I saw Ryan standing outside, listening. For once, he didn't have a comeback. The next morning, he came into my room and said quietly, "Hey, I didn't know you could speak Japanese like that." I smiled. "There's a lot you don't know about me." He nodded slowly. "Guess I was wrong about you." And that was the last time he ever mocked my love for anime.